I fought to stay registered because I'm a registered nurse. He fought to get deregistered because of the imbalance of the laws. I have a career in emergency medicine, and I was a subcontractor with FEMA. When I met John, I was staying in the hostess house. He was the person that greeted me at the door, and I worked with rescuers that were simply dead inside from all the havoc and the trauma they'd seen. This man had the light of the Father's eyes, and I tell him all the time, he has his Father's eyes. Recently, in a quiet time, I heard the Lord say, "Why not? If I go before you and I'm beside you, why not?" And so I knew in that moment, in that heartbeat, he was releasing me. It was called permission granted. And it was to rise up and go for the destiny he had for me, and I didn't know it. And so I got up and I woke up my husband and said, "I'm turning my notice in today." So as a nurse of 41 years, I turned it in and I became an artist. And that is painting messages that God gives me with a paintbrush. It is enlarged to having relationships with others that want to do the same thing. And we connect with our hearts, we connect with our lives, we connect in the community. And it's amazing. Now, John and I enjoy something together as a husband and wife that most people don't understand. And we call it a funny moon because we celebrate our marriage from the day we got married to our 50th anniversary, a time away to celebrate what we have, and it's amazing. We haven't ever had a time like that before. We've never had a family time like that in such a long time. We're grateful. But what's more, we enjoy it. And so for John to be able to lay in a hammock, go for a walk, swing his grandson, and us have time out together with full freedom, neighbors coming by and waving, and just, we're so glad you guys are here. We've seen restoration of relationships and new ones come in. God's the only one that can do that, but you have to have your heart open and be not fearful, but have faith that He has more for you. We had immense restrictions, but we still managed to believe and have hope of restoration of a lifestyle that was one to be celebrated, one that we could share hope with people. As our family got restored, that we could show them that there was hope, that you didn't have to stay in a room by yourself, being on the registry, working a low-paying job where no one had a regard for you. And I could help be a proponent for that. We've done lots of weddings in our backyard because we couldn't do them in the church. We've had lots of baptisms in our pool because we celebrate what God can do with a life that is willing to be transformed. But He's not worried, and He's not threatened by that. He still works with the impossibly invisible individual, like Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. It's the elevator repairman. He can change a heart in a moment. And I've seen my husband do that with just his attitude of going, someone like me to someone like you. And I would see a man's countenance change. I would see his heart open up. I would see people that never heard, "You are worth something, and there's greatness in you." When we got to Texas, he didn't have to register, and they fought for us because the other home state maintained that he had to every 90 days. The laws changed, but we didn't know it, and they would hold him accountable to that. So registration continues to be a restriction when we go out of state to our daughter's house, that she has to inform her neighbors. And she has to be willing to take that, "Oh, that's your dad?" And she does it. She does it with no apology. When we moved back from another state where we had death threats, we were evicted with 7 days' notice, and it impacted tremendously our finances, hundreds of thousands of dollars of losses. But when we came back, they wouldn't do another risk assessment, so they held him at the highest risk threat. They wouldn't listen. And it continues to be an impact to where anybody can look on the registry and see where we live, but they say, you may see my glory, but you don't know my story. And we don't know what others have to walk through, but we do. We don't have to put a sign in our yard like some have. We don't have to put a sign on our car like some have in Texas. We don't have to flinch when we go into the church because one pastor said, "That's not your identity now." So yes, it affects us. It affects us every single day. From the 27 years of marriage, we are entering into a new season, and it's a good one. My husband is releasing the authority and the governance of the ministry to a young man that has come up and is amazing in his ability and capacity and his character. John built me a studio in half of the garage up in the home in Maine, and I have paint everywhere on every piece of clothing, and I don't care. I love wearing and showing what I can do with a paintbrush, and it brings joy, it brings community, it brings freedom, it brings messages I don't even know exist in the painting. One thing that I would say to anyone involved with someone on the registry, if it's a brother, a son, a father, a nephew, any family member, a coworker, it's someone you are romantically involved in, and what's your future going to be like? I would say, don't listen to the treatment providers who say he has no chance, she will never have a future, because there are a lot of women on the registry. There's a 3-year-old they put on the registry because he kissed someone in daycare. There's atrocities that we can address, but you need to know that you have a capacity to change. There is greatness in them, and you can believe in that and trust that. Pray for them, believe in them, love on them, forgive them. Forgive them.
This is Brenda Jones, Executive Director of NARSOL. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other Lives on the Registry videos. If you want to know more, visit narsol.org and check out the Resources tab. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. See you again soon.